In 1979, a space station crashes and pieces of it fall to Earth. NASA claims that all the debris burned up while passing through the atmosphere, so there is nothing to worry about. The story then jumps to 2007. In desert, a terrified man named Enos rushes to an emergency phone booth and calls a biologist, Dr. Hero Martins, for help. He says he already tried contacting NASA, but no one believed him. Enos explains that something came out of your tank, making people sick and causing many deaths. Before he can explain more, the storm gets worse and the call is cut off. 27 hours later, Martins reaches the same phone booth and meets Major Robert and Lieutenant Trini there. The three of them put on hazmat suits and begin searching the area. They eventually find the tank, where Martins notices that the locals had tried to clean it using a homemade mixture of potatoes and dish soap. Examining it with a magnifying glass, she spots tiny cracks and realizes the mixture seeped into the tank, feeding fungus inside. When she notices a green mark on one of the cracks, she asks Robert to hold her while she takes a closer look. Martins confirms that the green fungus has grown and mutated. Suddenly, it reacts and attacks, forcing her to jump back in fear. Right then, Trini calls out that she's found a body, and Martins goes to her without noticing that some fungus has stuck to her boot. Fungus eats through the shoe's sole and moves inside her hazmat suit. On rooftop, they discover a corpse with its chest torn open. Robert looks around and sees that all the locals are dead on nearby rooftops, with the same injuries. Martin suggests fungus forced them to climb up and burst open so it could spread and multiply. Just then, Dead Man's head cracks open, revealing it is filled with fungus. After she safely secures the sample, the group starts to leave. At that moment, fungus begins infecting Martins. She suddenly feels intense heat inside her hazmat suit, becomes dizzy and struggles to walk, then vomits green fungal material inside her helmet. Eventually, fungus takes control of her brain, and she starts repeating the word spread. Now Martins gets into the car, while Trini pulls out her gun, but Robert shoves her out of the way as Martins drives straight at them. The car hits Robert hard, injuring his back so he can't move. Then Martins tries to grab the gun, but Trini fights to keep it and fails. Holding the gun, Martins steps back and realizes what she has done. So she disconnects her air supply and shoots herself through the opening. Hours later, the military arrives and secures the fungal sample. After they leave, the entire town is destroyed by an explosion. The sample is transported to a secure facility in Kansas and placed in cold storage. Over time, the facility is neglected and casually rented out without proper safety control. One morning, an employee named Travis arrives at work, and his manager Griffin pressures him to help rob the building. Travis refuses at first, but Griffin threatens him until he agrees. That night, a woman named Mary comes to visit her storage unit, so Travis drops her off at the elevator. On his way back, he hears a beeping sound but ignores it. While Mary takes a gun out of a boot and looks at a photo of her late husband, she wishes him a happy anniversary. She then points the gun at herself, intending to take her own life but can't pull the trigger. Instead, she decides to lie down and rest for a while. Meanwhile, Travis hears the beeping sound again and uses the intercom to call his new co-worker, Naomi. She comes to the lobby but doesn't hear anything unusual. As they introduce themselves, Naomi hears the same beeping sound. At the same time, a government call wakes Robert up. He tells his wife everything is okay, then grabs his old satellite phone and calls his former military base. Abigail informs him that a rented government facility has triggered an alert because the temperature is rising too fast. Robert says he warned them this could happen, but no one listened. Since he's retired now, he'll need special gear and official approval to handle it. Abigail hesitates, but Robert reminds her this is the kind of crisis she trained for and a chance to save innocent lives. Back at the facility, Travis and Naomi realize the sound is coming from behind a wall. Naomi suggests breaking the wall, but Travis refuses because he doesn't want to lose his job. She keeps pushing until he finally agrees. Travis grabs some tools and smashes a hole through the wall. Behind it, they discover a hidden computer room. Travis steps inside to check, but Naomi figures out it's a control system used to monitor the facility's temperature. Naomi also enters the hidden room, and Travis reveals that the building was once a military storage facility. They find a map, and Naomi quickly takes a photo of it, She wants to explore the underground levels, but Travis refuses to get involved. Naomi keeps pushing until he finally snaps, admitting that he's spent most of his life doing what other people wanted. She apologizes for pressuring him. Realizing she's going down there anyway, Travis decides to go with her. Now Travis and Naomi take the elevator down. Using the map, they find a hidden door inside a janitor's closet. The door looks sealed shut, but Travis kicks it open, revealing a secret passage. Inside, room is packed with old 1970s equipment, including hazmat suits. Later, they find the entrance to the underground levels. After peeking inside, Naomi tells Travis to go first. Duo finds a door labeled DTRA, access only. They have no idea what DTRA means, but open it anyway. Inside, they discover a sealed chamber connected to a huge pipe carrying freezing water. Nearby, several rats are covered in fungus and barely able to move because their tails are tangled together. Suddenly, one rat jumps at Travis, making him to step back, while Naomi looks through the chamber window and sees fungus covering every wall inside. She also notices fungus growing on the door too, and is about to touch it, but Travis quickly stops her. Now, they decide to leave the area. Outside building, Mike is sitting in his car and calls Naomi, revealing that he's the father of her kid. When she doesn't answer, he leaves a voicemail, saying he's in serious trouble. Suddenly, he hears a noise coming from the car trunk. When he opens it, he's shocked to discover that the cat he thought was dead is still alive. He sees that fungus has destroyed half of its face. The cat hisses, jumps out, and spits fungus onto the ground. It then climbs a radio antenna and kills itself. Moments later, its body bursts, spraying infected blood onto Mike and some nearby deer. Fungus quickly infects Mike. Once under its control, he feels compelled to find more people. Focusing on Naomi, Mike grabs his gun and heads into the building, with the infected deer following him. On the plane, Robert watches footage of Martin's death from the old incident. During this, Naomi calls him with important information, but her division chief, Wesley, overhears the conversation and redirects the call to himself. Wesley thinks Robert is still obsessed with the old case and says the problem is probably just an electrical issue. The two argue for a moment before hanging up. Later, Abigail secretly calls Robert from her personal phone. She tells him she read his report about the Australia incident and now believes he was right. Now Robert asks her to pass a message to Trini about Item 7. He also warns her that his phone isn't secure, so she should always contact him first. Right then, Wesley catches Abigail using her personal phone. To avoid raising suspicion, she pretends she's talking to her boyfriend about a possible pregnancy. Wesley believes her story and walks away. Back in facility, Travis and Naomi search online and learn that DTRA stands for Defense Threat Reduction Agency. When they leave the janitor's closet, they're shocked to find a deer riding the elevator inside the building. Travis has no idea how it got there, so the story flashes back. Earlier, fungus escaped its sealed chamber through a tiny hole in the door. A cockroach ate some of it and became infected. Later, a rat tried to catch the cockroach and became infected as well. The cockroach eventually crawled through the building's air vents and made its way outside, where Mike's car accidentally ran over it. Fungus climbed up the car's tires, entered the car trunk, and infected the dead cat, bringing it back to life. Now Duo rushes back to the lobby and sees the infected deer coming out of the elevator. The moment it spots them, it charges straight at them. Naomi pulls Travis out of the way just before the deer explodes. Seconds later, Mike steps out of the elevator. He then pulls out a gun and angrily orders Naomi and Travis to open their mouths because he wants to infect them with fungus. As Mike starts firing, the two run for their lives. Meanwhile, gunshots wake Mary, who is resting inside her storage unit. Hearing Mike getting closer, Naomi and Travis hide in a nearby unit. Unfortunately, door gets stuck and won't close all the way, but Mike walks right past without noticing them. But when Travis steps backward, he accidentally bumps into some stored items, making a loud noise. Mike immediately comes back and tries to reach through the open door. However, Duo works together to push the heavy door shut. After that, Naomi starts searching online for someone who can help them. At airport, Robert meets Trini, who says they need to pick up Item 7 before heading to the scene. Just then, Abigail calls and tells Robert that she has connected him with a civilian trapped inside facility. She merges the calls, allowing Naomi to explain everything that has happened, while Mike continues pounding on the storage unit door. After hearing, Robert realizes fungus has evolved and found new ways to spread. He promises Naomi that he'll get there as quickly as possible. He tells her not to touch fungus and not to talk to anyone except him or Abigail. After call ends, Trini admits that she doesn't think Travis and Naomi will survive. While hiding, Duo argues about whether people infected by fungus should be called zombies. Suddenly, they hear noises. It turns out Griffin and his gang have arrived to rob the storage facility. As they enter, they spot the remains of dead deer and a hole Travis made in the wall. Griffin becomes furious, grabs the intercom, blaming him for ruining the robbery. After that, Griffin and his crew head to a storage unit to steal some TVs. Meanwhile, Trini and Robert climb over a fence and secretly enter a house to retrieve Item 7. As they're leaving, homeowner confronts them with a weapon, but he turns out to be Trini's son. She calmly talks to him and he lets them go. Outside, Robert scolds Trini for storing something so dangerous in her son's house. Now she tells Robert to continue the mission alone, because she feels she's gotten too slow and would only slow him down. Later, Robert warns Abigail that if it starts raining, fungus will spread so fast that no one will be able to stop it. He asks her to gain access to satellite surveillance, since infected people and animals appear as unusual heat signatures. Abigail says she'll need to call a friend to make that happen. Meanwhile, Travis wants to leave, but Naomi thinks going outside is risky. They argue, but this time Travis convinces her. The two leave the storage unit and move through the building. Along the way, they seize Mike finds the robbers inside a storage unit. He infects them by vomiting fungus onto their faces, then locks the door. After that, Mike spots Naomi and Travis and starts chasing them. Right before he catches them, Mary shoots him in the head and he explodes. Mary wants to use elevator to escape, but Travis hears Griffin nearby and tells her to take stairs instead. Before leaving, Mary gives Travis her gun. As Griffin and Friedman start looking for him, Travis quickly tosses the gun away. Then he steps out in front of them and warns them to stay away from Mike's remains. Just then, infected thieves start banging on unit door. Hearing the noise, Griffin tells Travis to open it. Travis warns him that people inside are infected and dangerous, but Griffin insists that he open it anyway. When Travis refuses, Griffin accidentally shoots him in the arm. Now Travis walks over to the unit, but instead of opening it, he locks it tight. Just then, Naomi sprays a fire extinguisher right into Griffin's face. While he's distracted, she and Travis escape. When Travis and Naomi exits the building, they run into Robert, who instantly points a gun at them. After Abigail confirms they're not infected, he lowers it. Then Robert gives them a gun and hazmat suits for protection. He tells them to go back inside and plant Item 7, which is actually a bomb. Seeing it, Travis freaks out, but Robert says the blast will stay underground and it's the only way to stop fungus. He also says he'll guard the parking area to make sure no infected people or animals get escape. After suiting up, Travis and Naomi grab the bomb and head back inside. Meanwhile, Griffin tells the robbers trapped inside storage unit that they have his key, so they lift the door just enough to pass it back. When Griffin opens the unit, he's shocked to see his friends. Friedman backs away in horror, but slips and falls into fungus, getting infected too. Inside storage unit, one of the thieves says she isn't feeling well. Seconds later, her head explodes. Outside, Robert starts slashing the tires on every vehicle. Suddenly, Abigail warns him that someone with a warm body is getting close. Second later, Friedman shows up behind him. Robert quickly shoots him, and he explodes. But the sudden move puts too much pressure on Robert's injured back, causing him to collapse. Then he shoots the motorcycles, and one of them explodes. Inside the building, Griffin hears the blast. During this, one of the infected escape. Meanwhile, Naomi and Travis reach the DTRA room and sees fungus has already spread into the next room. They know they have to stop it before it reaches water pipe. As they set the bomb in place, they're shocked to see that Robert has already started the timer. Seeing that, they start running. But behind them, the bomb's timer begins counting drop way faster than it should. At the same time, Griffin shoves an infected person toward exit door, and Robert immediately shoots him. Then he tries to shoot Griffin, but he quickly runs back inside, and Robert runs out of bullets. Moments later, infected body suddenly sits up and starts talking. Freaked out, Griffin shoots it and heads outside. Just as he's about to shoot Robert, Trini shows up at the perfect moment and kills Griffin first. Meanwhile, Travis and Naomi find their way blocked by the last infected person. But without hesitating, Naomi shoots the person and escapes the building. Outside, Trini points her gun at them, but Robert assures her they're not infected. Together, they help Robert into the car and speed away. Moments later, the bomb goes off. The explosion is massive, causing the ground around the building to collapse. Naomi drives at full speed, staying ahead of the collapsing road. Soon, explosion stops and the group makes it out safely. At the base, Abigail sees all the red signals disappear from the radar, confirming that no infected survive. The next morning, Wesley appears on the news, where reporters call him out for not taking fungus threats seriously. Later, Abigail visits Robert in the hospital and thanks him for reminding her why she joined the DTRA. Meanwhile, Naomi introduces Travis to her daughters in a park. But in the final scene, a deer in the forest vomits the same dangerous fungus,